Htwow October, Season 7. Go, Dave.
Hello and welcome to Htwow. High Tea with Old Waver, episode number 75, if you can believe that. And before we get to hot jams, and a very special guest that Toby, because he is a music detective, had no problem figuring out. Want to talk to you about the importance of washing your hands, because I obviously didn't wash my hands enough and got funk in my face, and I sound terrible, but I feel fine.
You look great.
Thank you. And also want to encourage you, if you are not already, to become a patron of this podcast. Now, becoming a patron nowadays is even more of a sign of altruism than it was before, because before we used to do a bonus podcast every month, but things being what they are, schedules being what they are, we just don't have time to do a full other podcast on top of this podcast every month. We can barely get this one out. So those patrons who have stuck with us, we thank you. But those of you who wish to become a patron and want to just throw us a couple bucks every month because you like us and because you want to access all of the previous recordings that we have, you can do so. It's just $2 a month. And that gives you access to the Htwow After Dark library. And in that library, there are, there are 54 After Darks in that library.
Wow.
Just 54 episodes packed full of comedy and jams that you can listen to at your leisure. So if that sounds interesting to you, or if you don't care about that and you just want to give us some money, go to oldwaver.com and click on premium, or go to patreon.com and search Htwow. And like I said, $2 a month. You can help us buy equipment, help defer Toby's gas costs. You can just show us how much you love us. And we will throw out bonus content from time to time. Maybe like, is 4 times a year enough? Once a quarter, is that enough to promise?
Promise what?
Something.
Okay,
like bonus
we can
content.
do that. I think that we each can put out different playlists. We can, you know what we need to do, since we kind of have the thing worked out? We need to have a good DJ night.
That's true.
That's anybody, I wonder how many people we can invite to our jam.
Oh, gosh. We'll have to figure that out. TBD on that. But, yeah, if you want to support us, great. If not, thanks for listening to this.
Start.
That's the end of it.
I need to pull the thing. All right, here we go. In and Out of Love. First song on the record. The album 7,800 Fahrenheit?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, how do you say it? 7,800?
7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know.
Degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm glad I don't know any of this stuff.
I guess I think that's the melting point of rock or something stupid.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know.
Okay. Coffee.
Happy belated Halloween, everybody. This is Htwow, episode number 75, the October 2023 episode. Maybe we're a little late, but it's just because we like to have fun. And the fall is packed with fun. We will talk about some of that fun on this podcast. Htwow, of course, is an acronym. Sorry, had a scratch there for a second.
Okay.
It stands for High Tea with Old Waver. Toby Pipes is the high tea part. He is the guitarist and founding member of Dallas rock stars Deep Blue Something. I am the Old Waver part. My name is Dave. I also moonlight on the radio as Gen X Davey. And together we make this monthly podcast somewhat on the regular. It is a song swap and a beer swap, usually. But today, it is day. This began as a late night drunken song swap that we turned into a podcast. But because of my moonlight job on the radio, I don't have time to visit Toby in College Station as much anymore. And so, in order to get this in, even though it's late, we decided to do a matinee recording of Htwow. So we're not drinking beers or seltzers. We're drinking coffee. Although I did put a little Licor 43 in mine.
You did?
Just to, spice it up a little bit.
Okay. All right, I'll get a little spicy with maybe some, maybe some brunch beverages.
Oh, maybe
if you know what those are
Prosecco?
like. Maybe I will.
I wouldn't shame you one bit.
Okay, that kind of seems like that's up my alley.
And we are listening to Every Day is Like Halloween by Ministry. Very early Ministry.
Yeah.
And I know we've played this for an October pod before many years ago, but we can repeat ourselves if we so choose.
Yeah.
And it also is appropriate to repeat ourselves because the album of the month this month is Ministry Tracks Rarities.
Woo!
A vinyl reissue of the early tracks rarities compilation of Ministry that has all the stuff that was even before with Sympathy, that is very synthy, just like this. That's a good one to win.
I'm glad he got over his hatred of the early stuff.
Yeah, Al, once he got into heroin and guitars and got all butch and motorcycle guy, he distanced from all that great early 80s, mid 80s output. And He doesn't need to. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I think he got a little older and went, you know what? That stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he realized that kids today like that kind of stuff, and he needed to walk back his hatred because he needed to sell some records.
Yeah, I get that very first record. He might not like the way he was using such an English accent.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care.
The every day is like Halloween. He's not doing that kind of sneer,
Right.
kind of Billy Idol voice.
Yeah.
I think he probably has a point when he talks about how with Sympathy,
yeah.
the production and whoever from the label was pushing him in a certain direction.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, maybe he doesn't like the way the songs turned out, but he wrote the songs.
Mm-hmm.
They're good songs.
He should do a re-record of that whole record. That'd be cool.
He should do Taylor's version with Sympathy. So anyway, if you want to win a copy of Ministry Tracks Rarities, then please visit our vinyl sponsor, PositiveSpin.com. Positive Spin Records, positive with a Z.
With a Z.
If you go to PositiveSpin.com and click on the banner at the top that says Win the Htwow Album of the Month, you will be entered into a drawing, and you will have surprisingly good odds to win a brand new repressing of Ministry Tracks. So, here we are, Toby. I feel like, it's only been a month since we did this, but I feel like we have a lot of ground to cover.
We do. This was a busy month.
Yeah, because since the last time we spoke, I saw Depeche Mode twice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, our good friend and my nemesis for your attention, Taylor Young, got married, and we were both in that wedding.
Yeah.
And did you take a trip? I can't remember what else was going down with you.
No. I've just been back and forth to Dallas from the station.
That's right, because you are living two separate lives.
I am.
You are a very duplicitous man these days.
I've been driving a lot, Dave.
Putting lots of miles on that new car you got.
I know, Jesus.
All right, so let's get right to it, because too often we patter at the beginning and we wait too long to get to the jams.
How are you feeling, by the way?
I feel better than I sound.
Okay.
Because I guess we can talk about that too. I went to California with the radio show. We saw the Cowboys play the Chargers on Monday Night Football at SoFi in L.A.
Uh-huh.
And when we came back from the trip, my co-host Corby had the sickness. And then,
that's what went on. Okay.
Yeah, and then as soon as he was over it, I came down with it. And now I am on the rebound, but now my wife has it.
Nice.
My dear pregnant wife is sick with what I had, so I feel terrible about it.
Yeah, that sucks.
But yeah, it was mostly just a terrible head cold. I did have a fever for like a day and body aches, but wasn't COVID. Took a test, wasn't COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But just terrible head cold. And so I sound real stuffy, but I feel fine.
Okay, good. That's great. I just wanted to clear that up, Dave.
Yeah, so we can also talk about the California trip.
Yeah, we need to. I have questions.
If you want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, but let's go ahead and get to jams. And I usually don't do a themed show necessarily.
Uh-huh.
I like to play new stuff, but I usually have a backlog of new stuff that I want to play. However, I am going to highlight two songs from the same band off of the same record, which is something I don't know that I've done before. But the band is called Crosses, and the album is called Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. And the first song that we're going to play is Girls Float, Boys Cry. And so I don't want to do very much setup because this came across my feed. I was not familiar with this band, but then it made total sense why I liked it so much. I mean, obviously, I'm playing two songs off the record, and honestly, it's all killer, no filler. It's a really, really good record. They have 15 tracks on the record, and it's pretty much all good. But there is a guest star on this first track that we're going to play, and so I want you to, one, identify the guest star, which I think you will have very little trouble doing, and then see if you can, I guess, come up with any kind of biographical information of this band based on what you hear.
Okay.
And I think you might be surprised.
Okay.
All right. So this is Crosses, first up on the October edition of Htwow, and this is entitled Girls Float, Boys Cry. All right. First of all,
Yes.
did you identify the guest vocalist?
In the background of those chori,
Uh-huh.
that was Robert Smith.
That was Robert Smith.
But it does kind of give it away in the title a little bit.
Yeah.
Girls float, boys cry. It makes you think Robert Smith instantly.
Indeed.
The band has a very a newer album, Depeche Mode feel. Do you know what I mean? Like it has, like in their last couple of records, they'll have a few songs that are just like this.
Yeah, yeah. And if you listen to the full record, it does. Most of the time, it sounded like a mashup to me of Depeche Mode and The Faint.
Okay. Yeah, that's a jam. I like that. How did you come across this?
Well, like I said, it was just when I was scrolling through new releases on my Apple Music.
Okay.
The cover has a very fetching gothy girl in a robe with like sexy stockings, and she's kneeling in prayer.
Yeah, and it looks like something's on the ground there.
Yeah, and they're called crosses, but they stylize it with just 3 crosses, and so it just looks super goth. And she's got kind of she's like almost anime in a way.
Yeah.
It's not a photo, it's like photorealistic, and just it was intriguing to me, and so I listened to it immediately, and I was like, man, what is this? And so I was unaware that this existed.
Okay.
But they put out a debut record in 2014 that was just self-titled, that flew right by me. They had a couple of EPs before that, but it's a duo. And so the musician, or I guess the guy who writes most of the music, is a guy named Sean Lopez. He also is in a band called Far and a band called Chuck Doom.
Okay.
And then the singer is Chino Moreno of the Deftones.
Oh, okay.
And so, Deftones very, very heavy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they skew a little shoegazy.
Yeah. But he has a nice voice when he sings.
Yeah, he's got a very nice voice, and he also, you can tell that he has a soft spot for 80s goth,
right,
and 80s music. And so this is a side project that he started with this other dude, Sean Lopez, in 2011 in LA. And so they've just been doing it off and on. And I guess it had been a while since they had released new material, but then post-pandemic, they came out with a couple of singles, and then they just came out in, I guess, beginning of October, this new record, Good Night, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. And I thought it was really, really good. And I was just totally taken by surprise. And I wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like that. I like that Robert Smith will just, if someone asks him, he's like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, so that was a funny story. I looked it up. So Chino Moreno, he loves The Cure. And I don't know if they've ever played with The Cure. The Deftones and The Cure have ever played like on a festival bill. I don't know if they've ever met. I don't think so, but he obviously idolizes him. And so he sent that track to Robert and asked him, he said, I've loved you forever. I think you would be perfect on this track. Would you mind adding some background vocals or just whatever you think? And so he sent it off, and he didn't hear from Robert for a couple months. And he was like, well, I guess he just decided not to, or just never saw it. And he just kind of chalked it up to well, at least I tried.
Right.
And then as soon as he kind of gave up on ever hearing back from Robert, he didn't even get a message back. He just got the track back with the vocals on it.
That's awesome.
That Robert just, as soon as he got around to it, he did it and then just sent it back. No kind of formality, no kind of nice to meet you, great song, whatever.
Huh. How would you send? Do you think that goes through management, or do you just send it to Instagram? Like, how do you get?
I don't
in touch?
know. I don't know. I don't know if he had a direct contact for Robert, or if Robert's easy to find if you know who to ask. But yeah, he just sent it off and then got it back a couple months later, and that's the finished product. So
I'm sure that with his management and just someone knows somebody that knows how to get in touch with him. I'm sure that's how that was done, right? You don't just DM him.
Yeah. It probably was a managed connection, but still very cool that it was. Even though not like Deftones are mega huge, but they are pretty big.
They're big.
And Chino Moreno has certainly done a lot of stuff, and people idolize him. But for him to kind of sheepishly send this off to his hero and then be surprised when he gets it back, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool part, too. He doesn't overdo it. He's just kind of...
Yeah. I mean, it's unmistakable, but it's not in your face.
Yeah, and they didn't give him like a verse. Because the churches did that. Didn't they do that with him, and he had a whole verse and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, just ask Robert. He'll do it.
Yeah, just ask Robert. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we mentioned that they sound like latter-day Depeche Mode. Do you want to talk about the Depeche Mode shows real quick before we get into your jam?
Let's go. Which one was first? Was Austin first?
Yeah, I did a double dip because they did 2 legs of the North American tour, and the first time around they only did San Antonio, and our friend Craig went to that. Mm-hmm. But I tried to get in on the pre-sale and was not successful, and so I was like, well, surely they're going to come back, and then they did, and so they did Houston, Austin, Dallas. And so I did not do Houston, but I did Austin and Dallas. Austin was on a Friday and Dallas was on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And so when I bought the tickets, my wife was not pregnant. But turns out she was about to enter her 3rd trimester when the show went down. So I begged her. I was like, please come with me to Austin, because I had 2 tickets for the Austin show and 3 tickets for the Dallas show. I said, I'm going to take our buddies Dale and Craig to the Dallas show, but I really want you, Marissa, to come with me to Austin. And in order to make it worth her while, I got us a room at Zaza in downtown Austin.
Fancy.
I know. I mean, it was not cheap, but it was so worth it because it's such a great location just off 4th Street. It's like right across the street from that where we saw Thomas Dolby.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, like we saw him. They had a tent on 4th Street right outside that alley, whatever that
kind of pub over there.
Yeah, the pub.
Yeah.
And the pub is still there, but it was Deadsville. Mm-hmm. But a lot of new stuff over there. I hadn't been to Austin in forever, and I hardly recognize it. Mm-hmm. But Zaza was great. And so we went to the show on Friday night, and we were on the floor, but way at the back. But it was still very cool to be in the building. And, it was great that we had seats, I was glad that it was a floor situation with seats and rows so she could sit down.
Right.
And then, when it wasn't a jam that I was necessarily super into, I would sit next to her and, rub her back and talk to her and make sure that she didn't feel like she was just along for the ride.
Yeah, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, so it was great fun. And then we had the entire day Saturday to just hang out at the pool at Zaza, which was amazing. We're watching college football and having cocktails and mocktails by the pool.
Nice.
and then went out to a nice dinner in Austin that night, and then brunch on Sunday, and then drove back Sunday, and then I, of course, met up with the fellas for the Cowboy game that afternoon, and then we went straight to American Airlines Center for the Dallas show.
Yeah.
And the shows were like 90% or 95% the same. There were like 2 songs that were swapped out. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but
that's cool to even do that though, because that's to change it up like that for a show like Depeche Mode isn't like The Cure, where they just kind of, hey, dude, do this. There's a lot of programming and light stuff, and
they have the video screen going for every song, so it's like a video playlist as well as the programming and all of that for the set list. So
yeah, you don't just lean over and be like, hey boys,
yeah, let's change it up and let's just throw in master and servant right here. Yeah, that doesn't happen. But it was interesting to see them for the first time without Andrew Fletcher. And it's interesting too, because the multi-instrumentalist guy that's been with them for the last several tours,
right?
It seems like his role keeps increasing, and he plays a lot of stuff live, a lot of those keyboard lines live, and it's really cool. And man, they played like kind of a almost acoustic version, a slowed down version of Stripped that was
sweet.
amazing. Yeah, that was one of the differences for the Dallas show. And just Dave Gahan, even though Dave and Martin are wearing tons of makeup these days, just pancake stage makeup, they still look great. They're still rock star skinny, and Dave still got all the moves. And it was just so much fun. One of the favorites in the current set is "It's No Good." I was that on Ultra.
I can't remember. Yeah,
it was a latter '90s jam, I think. But it's such a hot jam, and the video has like a bunch of donkeys walking on the beach. It just makes no sense, but it was one of the highlights of the show. And so I was so glad that, I got to share it with both my wife and my friends. And the second time around, I wasn't stressed about getting there and stressed about seeing everything. And I could just really kind of just soak it all in because I had already done it once. And so this was kind of the do-over show.
Right.
And both Texas dates, they had Dive open up.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And it was hard because they, how it is as an opener, you get like half the volume. And so it was very hard to hear if you weren't close.
Right.
And they definitely are not a arena ready band. They're still a little band from Brooklyn, even though they've been around for a while. But it was great to see them in that environment, and I think they made some new fans. So anyway,
that's cool. And so you made it because normally when we go see Depeche Mode, we rarely see the opening.
Yeah. Well, in Austin, because of traffic and because of where we had to be dropped off by the Uber driver, we ended up missing, I would say, 2/3 of Dive. And we also that we went to the Mood, the new Moody Center in Austin, and it was very unclear, like the process of getting a wristband to get on the floor, because there were only certain ways to get down there.
Right.
And so we were pointed in different directions. So by the time we actually got down there and got to our seats, they had like 2 songs left. So I was a little bummed about that, but in Dallas got to see, I think, all of it.
Okay, that's cool.
I think we were in our seats before they even started. So it was great.
Yeah, I was the David Gahan thing, he's something. I was talking to Lou about this the other day. The difference of him and because Mick Jagger's still skinny, and I know he's like 20 years older at least, if not even more. But it's
Well, Jagger just turned 80, and what is Gahan? Early 60s?
yeah, so maybe
Like
20
17,
years.
20 years, something like that.
Yeah, so, but even 20 years ago, Mick Jagger wasn't able to be as cool as Gahan is right now. He still has this way that it doesn't look like you're going, oh, look at this old guy, kind of moving his arms around and stuff up there. He's the real deal. It's crazy how he can still do that. It's wild.
Yeah. It's not like he's a caricature of his former self. He's still him.
Yeah, his command on the stage is like no one else. It's insane.
Yeah, and I'm sure he does this every tour. He did it at both shows, but when they play "Walking in My Shoes," and then there's the big instrumental swell at the end. And then he walks out to the edge of the catwalk and hikes up his pants and shows off his red snakeskin boots. Yeah, it's just good. It's
so
just
good.
really good.
Well, that's great. You got to see the mode again. Does it feel like this didn't feel like this? They're not going to do it anymore after this, did it?
No, I didn't get that sense. I feel like they probably have at least one more album and tour in them. Mm-hmm. I did not get the sense that this was a farewell tour in any way.
Yeah, well, this was a big one. I mean, they've done it all.
I mean, they may take some time off, or they may just keep this going. I don't know, because they were making a ton of money. Everybody was buying merch.
Selling it out. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, both arenas were electric, especially the American Airlines Center, because the way they have the Moody Center set up, the lower level of seats for basketball, like they totally retract them.
Oh, okay.
So the floor is wider in Austin than it is in Dallas, and the first row of seats in the bowl are like way above your head. Whereas at the American Airlines Center, you're on the floor, and then you look to your right, and it's basically you're looking over the hockey boards at the first row of seats.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so people were more on top of the show, it felt like, in Dallas. And maybe it was also because we got there early and we got to see everybody just chattering, just the buzz in the building and everybody in their seats waiting patiently, and just the energy level rising throughout,
right? And
then just the explosion when they came out. It was just so good. That they're not a nostalgia act. They are still so relevant, but it's like they have all the cachet of a nostalgia act. People are like, I got to see them before they stop doing it. But then you also have the true fans and the new fans that are feeding the energy, and it's just really good. Yeah.
It's cool that they're not, that you don't feel sorry for them. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, yeah. It's cool that they still have it.
Oh, look at them. Like a patronizing Depeche Mode fan.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. He's still wearing assless chaps.
Oh, look. He looks so cute in his chains.
Anyway, that's enough on Depeche Mode. What do you got?
Well, I should just play the jam.
Yeah.
And then we could talk about it afterward. If you were going to say, if some band was called HandsomeRat, but it's all one word, how would you say that? HandsomeRat? Or HandsomeRat? Are you going to have to see it written down?
I'm going to have to see it written down, but I would just, it's probably just making it SEO compliant to just have it all mashed together. HandsomeRat.
HandsomeRat or HandsomeRat? I don't know. But anyway, the song's good. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, what's the name of the song?
The name of the song is In and Out of Love.
In and Out of Love.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that. Not really. Here it goes. How's that grab you?
I like it. I was worried that it was going to be a Bon Jovi cover.
It isn't.
You need to pull that up really fast.
What?
Bon Jovi, In and Out of Love.
Oh, I will. Hold on.
Did you even know that existed?
I don't even know. Would I know that song? I probably do.
No. Well, I think it was off their first record, so maybe not.
Love. Hold on. Yeah, I like the other one better.
How many plays does that one have?
Let's see. Do I need to pull the thing? All right, here we go. In and Out of Love. First song on the record. The album 7,800 Fahrenheit?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, how do you say it? 7,800?
7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know.
Degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm glad I don't know any of this stuff.
I guess I think that's the melting point of rock or something stupid.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know.
Okay, January 1st, 1985. They released that on that day off Def Jam Music. That's funny. But 12 million.
All right.
12 million 6. So, it'll be 13 million pretty soon.
Anyway.
Yeah, this band they don't have those numbers.
Yeah, HandsomeRat has not eclipsed 12 million plays quite yet.
Not yet, but
I did like it. Do you know anything about them?
They're from Manchester.
Okay. I did not necessarily know they were English.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it is HandsomeRat because on one of their things they capitalize the R. They don't.
Okay.
They don't on Spotify, but so it's got to be HandsomeRat.
Yeah.
But they look like young, cool kids that are playing cool music. But they put out, like if you look at their discography, they'll have like in 2020, one song, 2022, one song. Like it's just one single, and they just put out another one. Which is the way I think people should do it, because that's all people can take.
So they've not ever put out a full length.
It doesn't look like it. Like I can't tell on their thing.
That's crazy.
Let me see real quick while we're looking at stuff. Artist pick, discography. Yeah, it seems like they're all just singles. It's hilarious. I love it.
They don't have a wiki.
Yeah, there's a 2020, 2021, 2022, and right now 2023. I mean, that's a cool move, I think. Just, hey, we're gonna do one song this year. This is what you got. But yeah, check them out if you can find a picture of them. They look like just cool Manchester kids.
I don't know how young they are.
Do they not?
You call them kids. One of them is like a bald dude.
Yeah, the pictures I'm seeing, they're kids.
And they're from Stretford, Manchester.
Wait, there is a bald dude on the left, but it looks like the bass player and the guitar player. It looks like they're kids to me. Maybe they're not.
Or we're just old.
Or we're just old. I don't know. Yeah, they look like they're younger, dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I liked it. It was just part of the new release stuff that, whatever.
From your sources?
No, this one was I went solo this time on my tunes.
Wow, look at you.
I know.
Well, speaking of love, should we spend a brief sesh talking about the beautiful romantic nuptials of our friend Taylor and his better half Katie?
That's why I played that song, so you could have a segue like that. That's how I plan ahead for this.
Yeah.
That's how profesh I am. You're welcome.
I think all of us were a little trepidatious going in because we all had to be bussed out to BFE East Texas to a wedding venue out in Emory. But it turned out to be such a beautiful place, and I think the fact that we were all stuck there together made it, and we all rode back on the same bus.
Oh God, that trip back was long.
It was long, but you had Dale being the bus DJ in the back with the sonic boom box thing.
You were in the front with the grown-ups, right?
No, I was in the back.
Wait, where were you sitting next to us?
I was sitting like two
you
rows
were right
behind
in front
you
of
guys.
us. Oh, I thought you were right in front of us.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right, because Pace and Clara were behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think, Marissa and I have talked about it. Obviously, Marissa and I think that our wedding is the best of all time. But this was a close second. Like just the way everything came together, and the mix of people that was there, and just the thoughtfulness of everything, and just seeing two kids that we just love so much. They're not kids anymore, but seeing them so happy and so in love, it was fantastic.
It's a long time coming. Jeez.
Yeah, he made her wait for it.
Good God.
But what were your impressions?
Man, I thought everything was great. It was easy peasy. We didn't really do a whole lot. We were in the wedding, but we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't even have to stand up there. Just the best man and maid of honor stood on the altar, which was outdoors in front of a beautiful little pond or lake.
The donkey in the background, that was nice.
Yeah, there was a donkey braying that afterwards we said was Manny chiming in.
Yeah, the trip out there, I was kind of messing with him, of course, about how far, kind of over-exaggerating how far it was. And then it actually was that far. And it became less funny after a while.
It was a 90-minute drive.
Yeah, just... Whew, and we had to be ready to go at your place at 11.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of moving parts that day.
Yeah, it was stressful like the day before because I had to take the day off and we had to go to the rehearsal at her parents' house, and then there was the rehearsal dinner at the Times 10 Sellers place with the Cane Rosa pizza, but it was during a Rangers playoff game, and so everybody was watching it on their phones. So yeah, that was stressful, and then the day of was stressful, especially for my wife, who she had to be up at like 6 a.m.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Because they had to leave way early as the bridal party to get out there and get ready for stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was super cool, and I thought, honestly, outside of my own most recent wedding, eloped one other time and then had a big wedding for the first one that I regret. But outside of my most recent wedding, it was definitely my favorite wedding I've ever been to.
Yeah, that was fun. We had a good time out there. It was kind of cool to have everybody together. And it wasn't like they invited 7 trillion people. So everyone kind of could see everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
It was fun times.
It was fun times. It was good to see some people we haven't seen in a while. The Whittington, the PW Longs, all those guys. That was fun. Yeah,
it was nice that some of our far-flung friends, Nolan in town. That there were a handful of folks that were able to make it. That we and Fort Worth folks and Tatch came up from the Hill Country. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was good. Anyways,
good times. Love. Was in the air.
And they sprung on me that I was going to have to do a reading.
Yeah, that was great. You did great.
And so they had a PA, and the minister, he was kind of a non-denominational, kind of new agey minister with dreadlocks.
Yeah, he was a bro.
And so he was very soft-spoken. He had this PA, and so they invite me up to do this reading from some weird book of love. It's like poetry. And so I was having to try and sell it like I meant it, like this weird passage about a boy who grew up in a field next to a girl who lived in a house, and it just didn't make any sense. But I got up there and I got full into the mic and started reading and just blew the speakers out. Yeah. I'm like, well, sorry, I got to back off. He's much more soft-spoken than me.
Yeah, that was funny when you said that. He's a little soft-spoken. Yeah, it was the same when the night before, after one of the bridesmaids gave a little speech, and then Taylor grabbed the mic because I was back on the ground underneath everybody running sound, and I even still turned it down halfway, but when Taylor grabbed it, he just blew everyone. I'm like, okay. He also knows how to hold a microphone, so that helps.
Yeah.
You know, everyone else they just think if the mic is somewhere in the vicinity of their face,
right,
that everyone can hear.
Yeah. Those of us with good mic technique.
Yeah.
We blow everybody out of the water.
Y'all are at you don't realize the PA's on 50 because no one will hold the mic right. Oh,
all right. Let's get to the other Crosses jam.
Okay.
And so that first one that we played, Girls Float, Boys Cry with Robert Smith, kind of a down-tempo jam, moody jam. So the next one that we're going to play is called Invisible Hand, and it is the first single off the record, and it's more of a hot one. And I also wanted to play this for you because it has one of your favorite go-to freestyle words.
Oh, nice.
Can you predict what that would be?
No, but I'll when I hear it, it'll jump out.
All right. So see if you can pick out Toby's favorite freestyle word and enjoy Invisible Hand by Crosses.
Ready or not, we started again. The rules of you and Nancy. Trip out of your heart, reach out of yourself. Coming closer, time you move. Reach out of your heart, reach out of yourself, getting closer. It's only a test. It's only a test. It's only a test. It's only sometimes I feel like the rules been changed. Sometimes I feel like a ghost in chains. Sometimes I realize you rule this game. Sometimes I feel like we're both in
Man, that sounds great.
Yeah, the production is really clean on it.
Yeah, it's something. So is that guy that's doing all the production and everything? Is that him?
Yeah, I as far as I know, that he does all the tracks and Chino just does the vocals.
Okay, but I'm sure he mixes it and everything. It seems like that type of deal.
Yeah.
When that bass hits in that little pre-chorus thing, that's live. That would be something.
Yeah, it's fat. Yeah, they actually are coming to House of Blues in like February, I think.
We might need to check that out.
Yeah.
It'll be good weather for us to wear our all black and put some eyeliner on.
I would wear eyeliner to that show.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
would.
I really I encourage everyone to just especially like maybe at night in the car if you have a long drive, just put that record on and just listen to it front to cover.
Front to cover, or just blast it out the front door while you're giving away Halloween candy.
Sure. That'd be a great move.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they also have another song, another guest star, a song called Big Youth that has LP from Run the Jewels.
Oh, nice.
You know, the white dude from Run the Jewels.
Mm-hmm.
And so he does a verse at the end, and it's pretty lit. But I wanted to play that one because it has one of your favorite freestyle words. If you could just break off a bar for us.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it gets real hard.
That's all you have to do when like the music is building at the start. Kind of do it sometimes, and then kind of rub your mouth a little bit, like you're about to say something real serious.
Right.
Or you rub your hands together. Sometimes
it gets real hard in life.
Life ain't what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So glad you enjoyed that.
That's something. Yeah, I knew right when it hit sometimes. I was like, there it is. There she go. Sometimes.
There you go. All right. Do you want to, we can do a little Cali talk at the end if you want, but why don't you get us right into your next jam?
Yeah, well, you got a lot of sports talk, but we can get into all that because I have questions.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is the one I was having the game time.
How do you feel about your decision?
I think I'm going to go with Two Twins from Milton Keys because the other band I want to play called Water Pistol, I can't tell from any of their bio what the hell's going on with them.
Okay.
Except they're from Boston, but check them out if you get a chance. They put out something new, but I can't tell if it's some reunion or what's going on with them, but their new song sounds like it could be like a My Bloody Valentine song or something. But I'm not going to play that one.
Okay.
We're going to do a band called Lilac Fall. Is that how you say Lilac? Lilac?
Yeah.
Lilac Fall. Are you really into them?
I've never heard of them.
All right.
It sounds beautiful, though.
I know. It sounds great. Two twin boys. Different in the Dark is the name of this track. Let's see what you think.
So they're twins, but their dicks go like different directions. So in the dark, you can tell who's who.
No, they're actually Siamese twins, and they're connected by their Peter.
Even better.
Yeah. So it's, it's like a constant docking. A forever dock, if you will.
Is that the name of the record?
Yeah, it's forever docked. All right, here we go. I might need to take that out.
No, leave it. They maybe let it go on a little too long.
Yeah. But it feels like like the end of a John Hughes movie.
Yeah. Like it's the thanking the city of Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the cast are walking off into a field, and just everything worked out great.
Yeah, I like the fact that it starts out very like lo-fi bedroom pop, and then it turns into a full 80s jam with saxophone at the end.
Yeah, the saxophone is what got me. That's when I was like, okay, I'm playing this one.
Yeah.
I needed a good sax solo.
That's great.
It changes the whole vibe of the tune all of a sudden. It's great.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, 2 kids, Kim and Alfie Allen.
So they're both boys?
Yeah.
Or Kim is a boy?
Kim and Alfie both.
Okay.
But
I mean, it would make sense if they're forever docking.
Yeah.
That they're both boys.
Yeah, they go look at pictures and stuff. It'll make you like them even more because they're so proud about being from Milton Keyes and the suburbs, and they're not trying to be cool about anything. Like, they're just sweet dudes writing little pop songs. And it looks like they're kind of doing the same thing too with the singles, just tons of singles. I think that's what people do now.
I'm finding there's a band called Lilac.
Lilac Fall Band. If you type it in, you can. If you go to their website and look at their scrapbook, you'll see a bunch of pictures of them, and they even have pictures when they were babies and stuff.
Scrapbook.
But their bio, you got to read it because they're just like, here. Let me. They're very proud of their little town.
The photos of them in their matching red hoodies.
Twin brothers Kim and Alfie Allen, and we make music from home in suburban Milton Keyes. It's like northwest of London, I think. As twins growing up in the suburbs of a young city striving for its own sense of individuality, we, alike the city, drive forward with that same intent. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Look at those dudes.
They are very earnest.
They're really doing it.
Yeah, they like to be kind of matchy, but not totally matchy.
Yeah, because they don't look like twins.
No, yeah.
They look completely different. Like, one of them looks like he's in Simply Red, and the other one looks like he's in, I don't know.
The Coral?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like the dude in the back of the Prodigy that they don't really show that much, but is doing everything.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It is fun. I thought we would end with some fun.
Yeah. I love it.
I love it. Well, let's talk about sports, because you never really get to talk about sports that much.
Sure. What do you want to ask?
So SoFi Stadium, on TV, it just looks like the coolest thing ever. Is it the coolest thing ever?
It's pretty cool. I mean, we got there early and we walked.
That's not the best review I've ever heard.
Well, it's in a really shitty part of town.
Okay, it's out of town, right?
No. It's in LA, but it's like Culver City, Inglewood.
Yeah, not downtown or anything like that.
Yeah,
which you don't want to be downtown anyway.
Well, it just depends on what part of downtown, but it's just a rough area, and so getting there is kind of a pain. But once you're there and you're walking around, it is cool how they have the indoor outdoor feel.
Uh-huh.
You know, the giant kind of cantilevered cover, but it's still open air. And we were walking around because we got there so early because we were doing the show from there, and it was built a little bit after AT&T Stadium, and what's interesting is that you can kind of tell that Jerry paid a little bit more attention to the details, like the finish out. And just everything's a little bit more thoughtful at AT&T Stadium. I know a lot of people have complaints about AT&T Stadium as far as a venue to watch football, but as far as a structure and as far as like just the amenities, I mean, it's really good. And so it's like they kind of cheaped out on the materials in places at SoFi.
Uh-huh.
It's just not quite as palatial.
It's not as
and
sturdy.
Well, I mean, it's sturdy, but it's just, they went for the lower grade, quartz instead of the soapstone,
I see what you
whatever.
mean. I see what you mean.
And it was kind of weird because it was a Monday night, so I guess you maybe have extra media in attendance, but they ran out of radio booths. So where we were set up was where the Westwood One broadcast was set up, and it was a luxury suite that they were just using as a radio booth.
Oh, nice.
And then I don't know if you saw the video, but the Cowboys Spanish play-by-play guy or the play-by-play broadcast had to be in the middle of the press box.
Oh, dang. Okay, cool.
And so all the writers are there trying to do their work, and it's dead quiet except for these two guys screaming in Spanish.
Yeah, no, but that's cool though. I like listening to that stuff. They get a little bit more excited, like a soccer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There were a couple times I wandered over and stood behind him and rolled tape on it.
Yeah.
And we got some good drops on that one. But yeah, it was super cool, and the best part of it was Corby and I spent the first half in the press box, and we were, they put us on the back row of the press box. And so we couldn't see, because the scoreboard at SoFi is really cool. It's got that, kind of infinity screen,
Right,
it's like oval.
Uh-huh.
But when you're sitting on the back row of the press box, the top of the window is below the scoreboard, so you couldn't see it. And so I mean, it's great to be in the building, but we were like, well, let's go walk around. And so I intended to spend the second half like just kind of walking around in the stands and just watching from there. But we went back to the Westwood One booth where we had our stuff, and we realized, well, they have like free food and free beer here, and no one is drinking the beer. So we basically had all the beer to ourselves.
So you broke diet on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I mean, how many times you're going to be
on vacay,
SoFi in the press
on
box?
A quote unquote work trip. So Corby and I spent the second half in the Westwood One radio booth, and we were standing right behind Kevin Harlan,
okay.
he does he does a lot of NBA on TNT games, and he I don't know if he is the voice of any particular team right now. We had him on the air, and he was telling us all the stuff he does, but he is the voice of Monday Night Football on Westwood One.
And he's like friends with The Rock. He's like that short comedian.
No, you're thinking of, who is that? Kevin Hart. Yeah, no, this is Kevin Harlan.
Are you sure it wasn't?
Yeah, I'm sure, because he's white and old.
Which one?
Kevin Harlan.
Oh, Harlan is. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see color, so I wouldn't know which one was which, probably.
But yeah, he usually does it with Kurt Warner, but Kurt Warner was over doing the London game.
Oh, sweet.
And so it was, oh gosh, I can't remember who was with him doing color. Doesn't matter. Anyways, but just seeing him work and just seeing the producer and the spotter and the two play-by-play and color guy working together, and just the crowd was going nuts. It was like 60, maybe 65% Cowboy fans in there.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I would imagine. Yeah.
It was just a really, really cool environment. And, as we were there, after our show and before the Monday Night Football game, we watched the end of the I think it was maybe Rangers in Baltimore at the time, or maybe I can't remember who they were playing at the time, but we got to watch a Rangers victory while we were there. So it was like sports colliding. And it was so much fun.
Where were y'all when you did the? Because it looked really cool. The pictures. Were y'all on? What beach were you on when you did the broadcast the next day, or was it the day before? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that was the day after. Okay. So yeah, we stayed in Hermosa Beach.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Hermosa Beach is about a 30-minute walk south of Manhattan Beach.
Right.
Like they're neighboring beach towns, and so we did a lot of stuff as far as, watching the Ranger game and going out to breakfast and dinner. We did a lot of that in Manhattan Beach, but we stayed in Hermosa Beach, which is like a more laid back, chill version of Manhattan Beach. Yeah. And we did our show from the patio. There's a giant open air patio of a restaurant down there in Hermosa Beach, and it was spectacular.
It looked lovely.
We were just having the best time, and it was the most relaxed show. And we knew we were going to have to scramble to get to the airport, but we didn't even care. We were just having such a good time, just being there with each other and being out in the sea air, and watching people walk by with their dogs and watching people play volleyball. It was just the most magical place.
It was and so LA.
We were like, why can't we just stay here and do the show here every day?
Roll up on your roller skates.
I know. Well, yeah, I threatened to bring my rollerblades. It just wipe out on the strand.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
Hit a little clump of sand and Indo.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, but it was so cool. It was such a great place, and oh man, there was and then we did have a brush with death. Did you hear this? So we get to the airport. We didn't rent a car because we didn't want to have to deal with returning it because we were going to be so tight on time. So we Uber to the airport. We get there in plenty of time. We are all checked in, and we get boarded, and we push away from the gate. Everything is on time. Everything's great. We get to the end of the runway, and they fire up the engines, and we start barreling down as though we're going to take off, and then they just shut it down and throw on the brakes. And we're like, what the hell? And we taxi back to the gate, and the pilot gets on the intercom and says, we had a system malfunction notification.
System malfunction.
And so we're going to have maintenance take a look at what's going on. And so we go back to the gate, and then after like 5 minutes, they said, this plane is being taken out of service.
Yeah.
So we had to get off.
Did they ever say what it was? It was just engine trouble.
I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of system failure. Like that we were about to take off, and I don't know if it was the hydraulics or the fuel system or what exactly it was, but they had to abort at the last minute.
Golly. I mean, with as many times as cars break down every day, it's amazing planes work at all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts there.
Well, but with a plane, they usually, when a warning light comes on, they're like, I'll get that checked out later. I could probably go until the next oil change for that one.
Well, real quick, and then we can shut her down. So you were at the game where he had the walk off.
Yes. So
I saw a video, and was it just insane in there?
Yeah. So talking about World Series Game 1.
World Series.
Yeah. And so we were fortunate enough, Bob and Corby and myself, the other folks that I do the radio show with, we were fortunate enough to be invited by a listener to go to their suite for Game 1. And when you think suite, you're like, oh my God, you're right behind home plate. and this is the most fantastic palatial experience. I mean, I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth, but I just want to put the picture in the frame that this was a suite in right field. It was like the furthest away suite you could possibly get.
Still, though, it's a
but
suite.
But still, it was a suite, and it was in the building. And I'd never been to a World Series game, probably never will again. But it was a very frustrating game because the Diamondbacks play a very frustrating brand of baseball where, they
bore you to death.
They're content to take walks and punch through, ground ball singles and steal bases and move runners over with sacrifice bunts, and then all of a sudden they're up 3-0, and so it looked like it was going to be one of those nights. And so at the end, Corby had to catch an early flight with his sons because they went to go visit University of Kansas.
Oh yeah,
because his son is thinking about going there, and so they saw the KU upset of OU.
That's so great.
And so Corby left, and so for the 9th, Bob and I decided, because we were parked over by home plate, that we would walk around and just kind of look from the standing room areas for the last inning, because we weren't sure if they were even going to come back. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Seager hits a 2-run home run to tie it. And then in the bottom of the 11th, Adolis Garcia hits a solo home run to win it. And that's what you're talking about is we had moved around over to the first base side, and I took a video of Adolis's at bat. I kept on, because everybody was standing. Everybody is like waiting for him to be the hero because he's been on such a historic tear. And so before every pitch, I would just start a new recording, just hoping that it would be that walk-off moment. And I guess maybe the third or fourth pitch of the at-bat, he hits it opposite field over the wall, and I caught it on tape, and I caught Bob
freaking
out, celebrating. And then we had talked about if there's a walk-off, we're just going to run out the door to beat the traffic. So, we're celebrating, and then we're like, let's go. And we just took off running.
Yeah, you were so close to the door. You were outside in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I was like high-fiving the
security guy.
The security guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a magical moment, and definitely the best in-person sports moment of my life. So I am eternally grateful.
That's huge to see that. That's big.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We are as we record, the World Series is tied at 1. Don't know how it's going to work out, but as of right now, riding a Ranger high, and can't believe I got to see that in person.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love it. Hopefully I can get this thing turned around to where all of this doesn't sound so dated. But
no, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter. And again, thank you to our patrons who are dealing with a dearth of content, but I do promise that I will do some kind of fall mixtape for you guys in the next month.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we'll try and get back on time with November.
We need to do it in person.
Yeah. Let's try and work that out.
We haven't been to your studio in a while. Let's do it there.
Okay.
I mean, we've been at the branch house.
Right.
You haven't been at the station in a while, but we haven't been at what were we calling yours? Just North.
Htwow North, yeah. But now that doesn't make sense now that we have the branch.
You need a nickname. We have a branch. We have a station. We need what would we call that? An M Street?
Yeah, it's not really M Streets though.
Yeah, V Street.
Belmont Edition.
Yeah, we'll think of it. It needs to come out organically.
Yes. All right, play us out. Let's do some trick or treating.
Golly, I love that you
some
picked
World Series baseball.
The 6 minutes.
I know. I wish there was an edit. Maybe just pick it up in the middle.
I can.
Yeah, just pick it up in the middle and we can talk it out.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Why should I take the abuse that's
We want to thank you for being with us for H2O episode 75. Kind of a historic number. It's like our diamond anniversary.
nice.
The October 2023 episode. This, of course, is Every Day is Like Halloween by Ministry. Don't forget, Ministry Tracks. The Rarities compilation is our H2L album of the month.
Woo!
If you would like a copy, brand new vinyl copy, repressing, go to positivespin.com, positive with a Z. Give them an email address, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win. And want to remind you, we've listened to the Cute Twins and Lilac Fall.
Woo!
We've listened to Crosses, and we've listened to HandsomeRat. A very fun, uplifting
Sort of Halloween episode.
party edition of H2O. Even though it was a matinee for us, hope you're partying no matter when and where you are.
Hopefully we don't sound as tired as we normally do.
No, I feel fresh as a daisy despite sounding terrible.
You sound great, Dave.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's the same in the whole wide world.
What are you going as for Halloween?
Well, normally I pick an animal. Like, I like to do the inflatable dinosaur,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I've just done it so much that I'm going to steal my daughter's costume, which is a cow.
A cow?
She's a Chick-fil-A cow.
Okay.
So I'm just going to steal that and be a cow.
Well, the Chick-fil-A cows are always together, so you guys can both be cows.
Yeah, but I'm just cow. I'm not a Chick-fil-A cow.
You're just a cow.
I'm just a cow. I was a cow once in college as well, and I had udders. And people randomly just come up and grab your udder when you have.
That's a violation.
I know. But they did it. It got annoying after a while.
Hashtag moo too.
That's very clever, Dave. That's
Thank
very
you.
good. Very
Good night,
good.
everyone.